Let's see. All right, let me double check to
Mm-hmm.
make sure. Yep, we are live. So, all
Sweet.
right. All right, so today we are going to review Tekken Bloodline, the anime, and we
Today we
have.
are going to review
Oh yeah,
Tekken.
okay. We have Dad Level Podcast. If you want to give an introduction to your channel and all that, you can go ahead and do that.
Yeah, hold on. I'm all like behind here for some weird reason, but yeah. Dallo podcast. I do a weekly podcast with my friends and family. Of course, with Di as well on occasion when he's available, and we talk about everything from pop culture to movies to comics, toys, everything I grew up with, the shenanigans and adventures we had, and I do live streams here and there of different video games, unboxings. But yep.
All right, and he's also the one that got me into Tekken more than I did because I have not played a Tekken game since Tekken 3, which is actually the storyline that this show is based off. So I guess that makes good sense.
Yeah.
So I guess we could start off with the good of what you liked about it, and then I'll go. But like, what were some good? Or no, let's start off with the bad. Let's get the negative out of the way first, because there's some in my opinion. What are the negatives in your personal opinion?
The ones that stuck out to me the most are going to be with having characters that don't exist until later games in the series. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Marduk, Steve Fox, um, Leroy is a big one.
Yep.
More of a predominant role in the first couple episodes, or no, not the first couple episodes, but like once the tournament starts,
Yeah.
Um, I do feel now that I think about it, because of what my dad was saying, that it needed another 2 episodes to kind of flesh out the storyline.
Okay. Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
think things were rushed a little too much.
Yep.
What about you?
Oh yeah, I definitely think it should have been like a 12 episode, or most definitely we missed a lot of good fights, I personally believe. As you said, there's a lot of characters that I really like, they shouldn't have introduced, like, and I think you said this on your podcast the other day, the one that's going to be uploaded soon, or maybe it was the live, but you said that Julia was wearing her Tekken 7 or outfit instead of the Tekken 3 outfit. That was kind of irksome. Of course, even if they added Leroy, they should have made him look younger, because
Correct.
yeah, I think you stated that before. Uh, I think if it was the thing is, I feel like the writers weren't sure if it was supposed to be like like the target people like market was, because it felt like it was targeted toward the hardcore fans, but yet it was still targeted towards the new fans.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if it was if they were trying to go for a new fan base, they should have definitely made it a 12 with some character development. Even though we would have already known most of the characters' stories a little bit, but newer people that watch the series won't know it. I mean, it might get them to go back and play the games, but I feel like they kind of missed a little bit on both targets, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's one of those things where we started with the third game in the series. We added characters from 7 into it. And I'm curious, considering there was a lot of stuff that was kind of thrown at the viewer that unless you're a follower of the series, I don't know how you're supposed to know what this stuff is about because, you know, there's 2 other Tekken games before this one that,
Uh huh.
the whole storyline of Kazuya and how he met June and, these other characters are like, oh yeah, back. And it was just like, oh, hey, look, here's an Easter egg. Here's this. If you know the
Uh huh.
games, you know who this is. And um, keep in mind, I really enjoyed this a lot, but
Oh, huh. Oh no, yeah, yeah.
there was some things that I just felt like were out of place. It's weird to start with Jin's storyline versus Kazuya's storyline.
Hmm. I feel like especially like because I just got back in it with Tekken 7. I feel like I knew Jin actually more than Kazuya, so I feel like a lot of like the casual fan base would know Jin more than Kazuya. Well, I guess if you
True.
include Smash DLC, they might know Kazuya more now, but I feel like a lot of people knew Jin prior, which I think a lot of people got into Tekken 3 after the fact instead of
Yeah.
Tekken 1 and 2. But I feel like you're right on the mark. I feel like they should have just started from the very beginning, because especially Tekken, the original Tekken was on the original PlayStation 1995. I feel like they could have even like expanded the story from there. And heck, they might have even could have even added like Leroy when he was younger, and been like, okay, that's when he got injured, and that's why it took so long for him to recover. If that makes sense.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I feel like you're on the mark about that. So
Yeah, because there's a lot of plot elements that they talked about, like with King being the second version of King, and how the original King was killed by Ogre. Um, you know, I believe at this time too, you should have still had Armor King, at least the first one.
uh-huh.
I don't think it was until 4 that, or just before 4, that he was killed by Marduk. So
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of disappointed about that, and they shafted your guy Law. Like, yeah,
dude, yeah, yeah, man, Law didn't get it. Marshall was not giving any kind of great treatment here at all.
yeah.
So
And then how quickly Paul got defeated by the first, was it the first form or the the first form of Ogre?
yes,
Like it just made it like that made no sense at all. But hey, Dizzy, how you doing, man? YouTube Mafia.
it is. Yep.
Yeah, but no, I really do agree with that. And Julia, yeah, she should have been in there, but I feel like we didn't even see her lose, but then she comes out of nowhere behind the van attacking Hayachi. Like, you know, uh, it just kind of like you said, it felt rushed. It could have, I think it should have been a 12 episoder, no doubt. And yeah,
So,
so
and the more I think about it, there was like these like, oh look, here's a plot device, right?
uh
When the
huh,
medallion shows up, you didn't even know that uh, Hayachi was looking for that. So it's like, why did this guy show up for it? And it was like, oh, we need to analyze this. And there was nothing about it until like towards the last half of the show. So
yeah.
it was
I
kind of
think it was
weird.
episode 4 when they introduced it. Yeah, or maybe
Well,
it
I think it
was
was still during
halfway
episode
through
2
3.
actually,
Oh,
because it was
okay.
whenever uh, Hayachi took Jin to go to that restaurant, and he's all like, "Order whatever you want, but just stay quiet."
Uh huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like, yeah, if even if they were like a first episode or 6 or 12 episodes, they definitely could have gone into his mother more, details, because we really didn't know much about her to begin with, and we still really don't.
Hmm.
Like we still didn't get any more backstory that we didn't know about her. We just kind of got like I don't want to say the generic like sensei trainer relationship. It just seemed very generic, even though it's set up really good. We'll talk
Oh
about
yeah.
that later on. They did it really good with the music, the animation, but we'll get in the goods in a minute. But I definitely think it could have been a lot. I think that's the whole. It was so restricted. I'm not sure how low budget was, because the studio. We're going to talk about the studio in a minute. Is they seem to like the
Mhm.
animation. I actually did enjoy. I didn't think I was going to like the animation that much, but yeah. But we'll get into that in a little bit. What was your opinion on the animation?
I enjoyed the animation. I did not like the angular shadow highlights.
Okay.
Everybody in the whole show has this like triangle like above their head like this, or some
Yeah.
kind of weird. Even like Ogre has it too, and it's like, oh my gosh, what is this? And it's
I yeah, I think it's probably like since they don't hand drawn stuff anymore, they use like some type of program, so they use like a default fixture, and then they just overdid it, or overlaid it. Maybe. Do you think that is possibly why?
probably Dizzy. I think this was hand drawn, but there's moments where it almost looks like it's CGI a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, I kind of did like the whole thing where like when they actually went into combat, you see the hit dispersal, like the
Oh,
bursts, like you see when you're playing Tekken. I thought that
uh
was
huh.
kind of cool.
Yeah. Hmm.
But the that weird shading that threw me off. I was like, hopefully this is just something because maybe they're like where they're at, and it's gonna be different. But I'm
Yeah.
really hoping that they change it for the second season if they're going to continue following Jen through, Tekken 4.
Yeah, I really hope they do, and they could even draw it out a little bit. Like I said, I hear a lot of people talking about it, and I think the hardcore tech fans are gonna like it, but they're still gonna have their, you
Their
know,
complaints or
yeah, the complaints about
reservations.
it.
Yeah.
And if you look at they're trying to get like a casual anime fan into the series, I don't think it's gonna draw them that in, because I mean, the animation is pretty good and the music's good, but if you're not already drawn to these characters, the really only backstory we got was Jin's, really,
Yes.
and so everyone else was just kind of thrown in and kind of foddered. At even Paul and King even was fodder after he beat or how do you say her name exactly?
Xiaoyu.
Xiaoyu, yeah. So it's like, yeah, I feel like he put up a good fight, and then he was still basically fodder to just to get past to get Ogre out there. So
Dizzy, yeah, there was a lot of good fights. It was
oh yeah.
all the way through. It was good. There should have been more fights from some of the other characters. There was characters that weren't even in it that should have been in Tekken 3, that were in Tekken 3, that should have been in this one.
Yeah.
I kind of felt it was also weird having it set in one location because there was multiple location and environments that you fight in Tekken 3, and actually all the Tekken games are like that. You have different environments that you're participating in the King of Iron Fist tournament. So it's weird not having that in, uh, the show. That's all in its old ancient Coliseum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it follows the Tekken 3 storyline of Jin. So, uh, but yeah, like, what else was there? I think, yeah, the studio that did it was Studio Hibari. They're part of the ones that worked on it, which they worked on series like Duel Masters, which was like they're like a Yu-Gi-Oh knockoff kind of. But they also did work on a little bit on Persona 4, which was cool. I don't really
Oh,
see
nice.
any.
Okay.
Yeah, I really don't see anything. Maybe of Central Phase, Turo the Space Aliens, Happy Lessons. A lot of stuff I've never actually heard of.
Yeah, the only one you've mentioned so far that I've heard of was I've kind of in passing heard of Duel Masters, but as far as like Persona 4, that animation was great. So,
Yeah,
and they didn't have that weird shading on it. So
yeah.
it's,
What they
it's
all
unique, I
yeah
think,
they
with this
I
animation.
think they got that from they also worked with Lark's Entertainment, which also worked on Kenga and Ashura, which you could tell that's where they got probably the triangle and the CG aspects of it. Because
Mhm.
if you seen, I haven't seen all of Kenga Ashura yet. Have you?
No.
Okay, yeah, it looks very similar in a lot of aspects, especially the CG usage. And I'm not no, they didn't work on Baki, but I think that got a lot of inspiration off the newer Baki series, which is very CG heavy, and I think that's part of it. I think it's like a newer animation style, might be cheap. I don't know what it is, or why they do it.
Yeah, I mean that I'd have to look into them. I mean, uh, I think maybe had the studio that did the Castlevania series on
Uh huh.
Netflix did this, it might have been a little bit better. Um, but it definitely needed more episodes to flesh things out a little bit more. Plus, give some other fans some fan service with, having some of these other characters participate in the tournament. Um, so,
Yeah, yeah. It could have been the best tournament anime out there. Like it
yeah.
could have been on level of like the Dark Tournament in what is it? No, the Dark Tournament in
The Universal arc from Dragon Ball
yeah,
Super. Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
And there's a lot of it could have been really good, and I think it would have really sucked a lot of people in. I think if I don't know, it could have been heck, it could have been a 24 episode, and they really could have gone in depth per episode per character, and it would have felt rushed a little bit on each character. But then they would have definitely got more people, I think, into it, and more people talking about it. Especially if they did like a simulcast thing, it would have been like a weekly thing.
I think the weirdest thing I saw though was I had to look for it. It wasn't like on my front page for my new releases. And I watched a bit of anime on there. There's a wide variety of stuff, but I had to look for it. It wasn't there at all.
Yeah.
So I found that weird.
Netflix is bad about that for some reason. They did that about the Shaman King series, and they did that about another anime series that they did. I don't know why they try to hide their own. Like they pay to have these licenses, but they hide them, or like it's not easy, to find. Which I found weird. So Netflix. Oh, I guess I could. So Netflix has Tekken, Castlevania, Resident Evil, Crash Bandicoot. The American Crash Bandicoot one.
I don't know. I mean, I get where he's going with that, but I mean, maybe if we get some Metal Gear Solid anime, that'd be fantastic. But
yeah,
David Hayter to come back to do the voice of Solid Snake, I'm down.
Mm-hmm.
But I doubt it.
Okay. Another bad thing that, like I said, they had the montage of him training, and then all of a sudden they showed Horang fight him for like 30 seconds. And they didn't even show the fight between them. They just showed them that they met, and then all of a sudden they meet at the tournament like they're like good rivals, Like you never really got any backstory. Same with Zhao and all
yeah,
that.
Considering like Horang, yeah. I mean, if you played the games, of course you knew that there was a rivalry between him and Jin, but
yeah,
it's definitely one of those things that'd be like, why can't there should have been more than what they did, because it was almost like, oh, here's a montage segment because we don't want to actually add another episode into this because we don't know how it's going to take. This was very well done for what it was. The voice acting was good. I would have actually loved to have heard the actors that have done the games for so long, because most of those people are voice actors. So
Hayachi's voice actor passed away.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch in dubbed or English dub or Japanese?
English dub.
Okay. I was actually kind of disappointed that they just didn't mix it like in the game.
Mm-hmm.
They should have done that.
Yeah. There was a lot of things that I think would have been really great that just for some reason never didn't happen. Well, Dizzy, the animated movie that Capcom's been doing have been great, and they actually follow the storyline from the games. Those live action adaptations, those are god awful, and that newest one is an abomination. Yeah. Just because it has the creatures from Resident Evil doesn't mean it's going to be a good show. So I don't know.
Yeah, the last I think 3 animated, unless I missed one, like the past 10 years that like the Resident Evil movies have been excellent. Mm-hmm. Like, even back I think was the first one like 2010, the animated one still looked really good.
Oh yeah. Was it Degeneration? What was the last one? I can't remember now.
I think the last one came out like 2015, if I'm not mistaken.
2014. Because they did the 3 movies, and then they did what was it, a 6-parter movie. They just took the movie and they broke it up into like 6 episodes or so.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. I mean, it was good getting to see the characters again before everything that happened because I think this one took place before 5 or before 6.
Yeah. What would be cool stuff? Okay.
They should have done it with the show.
Probably
for Tekken.
Okay. I think I got a complaint about Hayachi's character design. He looks too much like the guy off Mulan.
Mulan?
Yeah, like his face. Kind of, the eyes and the stuff. But yeah. What do you think they should have done with the show, to answer his question?
Yeah, and that's where what I was saying was it should have been 8 to 10 episodes long. You should have seen more of the things going on instead of just it being mentioned in passing.
Yeah.
Beck's missing, the original King's missing, and then you get to see these other fighters, and it's like, oh, that's cool, but they're not there. But then like Brian Fury is not there, so it's definitely something they need to flesh it out more. I
Yeah.
feel like what the one team who did that first 3 episodes for Castlevania did was fantastic. It gave you just enough, but it wasn't so like truncated in that they completed what the storyline was for Castlevania 3. Now, the problems I had with it, they should have had Grant as the character in that. They should have touched on all the characters that we know, besides like kind of narrowing it down just to 3 and then having them fighting Dracula, and plus bringing in stuff from Curse of Darkness, which is fine. I mean, I enjoyed every moment of it, but if I was writing this, I would have added Grant in to the character as well.
I'm curious who got the say, because I'm guessing Namco that would have got the say so, like their team were like, okay, this is who we want to do it, because you would think they would have got like a much higher company to do it or budget or something. Because if you really think about Tekken 8 got announced, they could have gone full blown 120 episode anime until Tekken 8. I think that would have helped the sales dramatically. I mean, honestly.
That could have been a possibility. I just don't know. I think that they may have just gotten the license from Bandai Namco, and then they were given the okay to tell a story, and I think they were just content with what was being put in front of them, that they gave the okay, versus had they fleshed it out a bit more. Because maybe they're, with them working on that project, and Netflix not wanting to make, because I doubt that Netflix is actually the ones that produced this. It was this company doing it with Bandai Namco.
Yeah.
They just got the license right to release it.
Yeah.
So
only Netflix. It says on the Wikipedia, so I'm not sure how correct that is. But Netflix got the license, but the studios was the studio Hibari and Lark's Entertainment. So yeah, I don't know how they like come to terms, and because you would think like Namco, like they've been like, oh, this company's trying to pay this much for licensing. Why don't we go to like Studio Perry or a bunch of these other big ones, see if they want to pay for the license,
And then something Dizzy said too. He talked about we need a Silent Hill Netflix show. I think that'd be cool as long as they follow the game universe, not like what they did with the movie, where they kind of changed Harry into the wife and stuff, and just totally changed what that story was about. Anyway, I love that first movie. The second one was I don't know. It was a movie, but a Silent Hill could be cool. I don't know if there's enough story in it to drag one character going through all the hell he goes through.
Yeah, they would have to be really good writers to pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think that okay. So we talked a lot about the bad. What were some of the really good that you loved about this?
The character development that we did get was great.
With Jin?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel that some of the lessons that he learned throughout the whole process were kind of negated towards the end whenever he was fighting Ogre. And then he let himself go into what he does. But that's what happened in the game,
Yeah. I feel like it was also like a yin-yang thing. You kind of have to use both to become the best. Yeah. So, but yeah, I agree with that.
It was cool getting to see the them using their fighting styles with the anime, and them being able to animate it that way, not just throwing out generic punches and stuff, and not keeping that style for each character.
Yeah, they actually used the right movesets. Even when Julia attacked Hiachi, she used Bear Trap, which is the 2-1 whatever, or 241, which was cool. So yeah, that was really cool that they actually used the correct move sets, which was awesome.
I was happy that they kind of at least hinted at the fact that Jin was going to school at the time and had made some friends / rivals.
Yep. Where the hell was Panda at?
I don't know. I think so. The whole remember Panda's Zayu's pet or friend, but then you had Kuma that was actually Hayachi's bear. And I'm just surprised they had him in there, considering that he's kind of almost a goofy character in the first place.
Yeah.
Let's
see. What do you think of Nina losing to Zhao Yu?
You're talking about a highly trained assassin going up against a kung fu martial artist.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm okay with it. I mean, it is what it is.
In the way, it makes more sense because Nina underestimated her. It makes no sense that Law lost to Julia.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Tekken will spawn new characters from the game? Wait. What does it mean by that?
Do you mean from the show that to breed interest into? Yeah. What do you mean by that, Desi? I'm sorry.
Oh, like create new characters for Tekken 8? I don't think they'll make any new characters for this one.
They usually make 2, maybe 4 new characters depending per release.
Yeah.
But usually those characters replace somebody else, so their styles are similar. I'd like Christy to come back. Hopefully for Tekken 8.
Yeah, I think she should come back. I think they should add everyone, minus the DLC characters that they have to buy a license to, like Negan, and hopefully he never comes back. But what else? I hope they add let's see. Add new characters in the show for Tekken 8.
Well, when we get to that point, hopefully. I mean, if this takes off and is well received by people that watch Netflix, we may get a second season, and that would be cool. You get Tekken 4 at that point, and then, by the time Tekken 8 comes out, we probably could be close to Tekken 8 at that time, maybe. I mean, if they don't include or try to include the storylines from the tag games, I kind of think of those in my head as like side stories or alternate universe Tekken games. Just because you fight certain characters that don't show up in the games, in the mainline games. So who knows? But yeah, I mean, I would love to see there's a lot of characters I'd love to see come back, but there's a lot of characters I'd like to see transition over to 8. I'd like to see Geese stay. But
I hope they keep Geese.
He's a guest character.
They should keep Geese and Akuma. I mean, how are they gonna keep? They have to keep Akuma at least, for a minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because so it's they better keep Geese as well, And then I hope they don't keep Negan, and then they could keep everyone else.
Oh, jeez, yeah, Negan's got to go. So does Noctis. They're just they don't.
Yeah, Noctis is down. Bring Tifa in there, or Riku. Even if they added Riku,
Riku, or Tifa, Sabin, Zell. Some other Final Fantasy character, I'm down with that, but not Noctis.
Yeah. Let's see. What else? So I saw you guys played Tekken. Was it Thursday when you guys played? Okay, yeah, I was asleep.
We figured it was all right.
Yeah. Was online better because they updated to the 5.0.
We noticed there was a lot of slowdown or lag. It
There
wasn't
was.
that bad, but we'd be playing and it would just like slow down at certain points. I think we only got maybe disconnected once, maybe if we did. I don't think we actually really did get disconnected. I think it was a pretty good, solid stream.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know they did add the rollback frames.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I did notice that.
Yeah.
I love that little thing on the bottom of what they added and changed.
I don't think that matters.
I don't think that either. I honestly don't.
Yeah, because I keep seeing the same stats, but then there'll be one really laggy and then one, from what I've been playing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I don't think it really matters.
Yeah. It is a disappointment, though. That's the only thing they did. And why they added these quality of life updates for a game that's basically at the end of its life cycle.
Yeah. They did update some of the wall attacks on certain characters, but I know they took a follow up from your man Geese, so they made him a little bit weaker from what I hear. But I'm not too sure if that's good or bad.
I'm noticing that if I'm not in the groove to play Geese, I have trouble with him. But when I am, I can pull off stuff. But Law's going to probably just be my main going forward for when we go to Evo.
Okay.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
A lot of people are still using Geese.
I know. I just got to put some time in. I mean, we got a year, but still.
Yeah, and I keep trying to go to someone else the vampire. Who's the vampire? Eliza,
I think it is.
Yeah. I try to use her, which is good, but I have a tournament this Friday coming up down in Oklahoma, so it's I don't want to stay with Katarina really, but I'm pretty good with her, and I feel like if I'm gonna switch characters, it'll be too late,
Yeah, before your tournament,
yeah.
I did watch your video with with you taking on that Tekken God dude.
Yeah,
great Tekken God. That was pretty cool, man.
Yeah, that was my first. I think that was my first one. I was happy about it, and I
shut him out, man. At least is what I remember.
Yeah, I think he got nervous because the first round he was aggressive, and then after I blocked a few of his moves and kept ducking and kept reading a few moves, he got nervous and he didn't want to look. Which I don't think we were playing ranked, so I don't know why he was
Yeah.
nervous.
No. Well, Dizzy says good luck on the tournament.
Thank you, Dizzy. Thank you, and hopefully. I mean, I think I might try to go to CEO, which is in Florida, Dizzy. So if that's close to you, we'll try to link up, man. I forget where CEO is, but I know it's in Florida, but I don't know if it's in Miami or Tallahassee or wherever it is.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I know that this weekend is or at least has been the Namco fighting game tournament or something like that, or something.
Yeah, the Tekken World Cup European tournament or something like that. Yeah, I think it might be the semifinals for the Amsterdam one that's going to come up in next month or next year, early next year, March or February, one of the two. Yeah. Let me look it up. Dizzy CEO. Let's see. Okay, it's in Orlando. That's where it's at. Yeah, Orlando, Florida, which I don't know when it's going to be next year.
Mm-hmm.
But 2023, let's see if they have the stats for it. Yeah, they don't have all the information up for it yet.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know it's probably be in. Yeah, I don't know. It looks pretty cool though. But I know for sure that I definitely, if they allow it, and depending on the rules for travel, I do want to go to Evo Japan as well. But I'm not, that's going to be expensive, and that's 7 months away, I think, still, or 6 months, 6.5. But I don't know how travel restrictions are going to be during that time. So
that's true. We do have to worry about how that's going to go. I mean, I know that they had opened their borders to allow more tourists in, but you just have to follow what their rules are there. But
yeah,
who knows? hopefully everything goes well. I mean, that'd be cool. I'd love to be
Yeah.
able to go, but that's just too short of a notice. And then, with the stuff with my wife, starting a job here within the next couple of weeks, I can save up for it, but I want to save up for Vegas for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. I'm definitely gonna go with you guys. And heck, man, we'll figure it out because I'm thinking about driving. I don't know if you guys want to like drive to Oklahoma City. I could pick you up and we could just carpool to Vegas or something. Because I do want to drive because I want the freedom of going to like thrift stores during that time too, and
Well,
game
we may
stores.
fly. I mean, that way, if you drive up, we'll we can always
Oh
carpool.
yeah, that works too.
And help pay for gas.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out because I definitely do want to go again, and I think we'll do good. Honestly, I think we could do really good.
So, what do you think about the updates that they've done for Tekken so far? Like the newest stuff that we just got released.
Well, for me, my character really like Katarina or Lisa or Liza or I think even what was it? I don't think any of the characters I use actually got affected by it. Maybe there was like a couple things, maybe like a frame or two on different moves, but nothing that I would notice. I think even on Katarina, they made the hitbox on back four or whatever like a frame off, so it's like I missed that a couple times, but I think that's the only difference on her. Liza, I haven't played that much beforehand, so it's like I could get used to the way it is. But I really don't think it affected me as much as like people that have actually been playing for the past couple years. So
yeah, I definitely need to look into what the patch notes for at least the few characters I play.
Yeah. Gabriel should be happy. Yoshi got a few buffs, so
yeah, he was using them on me.
No. Yeah, and I know King got one buff, but not like I think it's just that drop like lower drop kick he got or something. I'm not too sure, but I hear that one's pretty good. Yeah, they really should. I mean, how much I hate fighting King, they should definitely buff him a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Once he gets you in those grapples, I did notice that it was easier to get out of some of the grapples with Law.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I don't know if that's just things were just working because sometimes that stuff is like hit and miss because you got to hit the right button at the right time. It's a guessing game.
Yeah. It's hard to tell because if I know with King he charges, so it's like he still could do like 3 different moves. So it's like kind of like a guessing game, either or, right? So it's like, yeah. He says next one may be in Daytona, Florida, a few hours away. I'll keep track of it. Heck yeah, man.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to go down to Florida at some point. Take my son down there, my wife.
Yeah, Florida's cool. I like it. What are the best Tekken games? What do you think are the best Tekken games?
Tekken Tag 1 is always going to be one of the best for me. I really enjoyed what they did with 5. Because Tekken 4, when it came out, just felt different. Of course, this is the first game where Jin didn't play like he played for so many years, at least through with Tekken, 3 and Tekken Tag. And then you had a bunch of new characters, so it was kind of weird getting used to the new roster. When Tekken 5 came out, they started bringing in like some of the older characters. What was cool was the last Tekken game we got that actually went to the arcades. So it gave you the option to, if you wanted, you can either play with the built-in fight stick, or it had ports for your PS2 controller, so you can actually play with your controller, which was awesome. I did that a couple times. I think it even had some kind of card system too, similar to like the old Neo Geo arcade cabinets, but I don't remember what it was. And then 6 was great because, I mean, it was like the first one that I really kind of played online against my friends. And, I brought back some old characters. Um, yeah, it was really fun. So I think the last 7 Tekken games, well, sorry, the last 7, of course, no. The last 3 Tekken games have been great, besides Tekken Tag.
Okay. I still wish I would have got into at least Tekken 6, then Tekken Tag 2. Because I was going to buy that one at least for the Wii U, and I never did, unfortunately. But I think that would have got into it. Dizzy says Tekken or Virtual Fighter. I have to go with Tekken. I played Virtual Fighter on PS2. I hated that game. I mean, it was okay. It was good, but it was kind of boring playing by yourself, online so.
I'm always going to be a Tekken person, but like whenever they release Tekken 4 Virtual Fighter 4 and 5 on PS2, well, PS2 and then 360 for 5, that was really cool. They kind of revamped the fighting system a little bit, kind of upgraded it for the modern gaming, and it was a good system, but it doesn't hold a candle to Tekken.
And Virtual Fighter 6 just came out, and it got blew under the rug. Like, people forgot about it real quick, and like no one's talking about it. And I know they had a bunch of like Tekken skins, that you could add. But yeah,
I believe so. Yeah,
I kind of felt bad, but I was gonna pick it up just to play. But
that was a cool trailer, getting to see all those characters and schemed as Tekken characters.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Tekken. I like Tekken personally because it's a lot of like, it's kind of the closest realistic martial art video game. There is. There's so much. You have to be accurate. You have to know feet movement, which is actually very important. Like, yeah, I do like 2D fighters. Like, I do play a lot, and I'm definitely gonna pick up Street Fighter 6, no doubt. But it's just like a whole nother level and technical with Tekken, so that's why I like it. Yeah,
I think if Namco put in as much care and dedication as they put into the Tekken series, that Soul Calibur would be, just as good. And it seems like after Soul Calibur 5, everything kind of went down, or 4.
4. Yeah. God, then I felt like they were trying to push it because 5. Usually, it was just, wasn't it Tekken more like, or not Soul Calibur more like a console release? Because it always came out pretty early for systems.
Yeah.
Usually, and then they tried to release 5, which kind of flopped and it wasn't that good. Then they released 6, and they didn't market it that well, and so it's like they expect it to do good just because it's an old name, and yeah, and I did play it, but it just, it didn't have that hype around it, Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it. Like, people are so hyped for Street Fighter 6, and they have to do good this time because if they screw up again, the name recognition is going to keep dropping every single time until, yeah.
I think Capcom needs to stop going for the sure bet, the things that are like there and they know they're going to get money on, and take a bet like on some of their older series. It sucks that there's no new Soul Calibur. I mean, not Soul Calibur. God damn it. No new Darkstalkers game. Rival Schools would be great. Some kind of new thing for that.
Yeah.
Especially with the engine. I mean, technically, we may get lucky. We may get Rival School characters in Tekken. Gosh. Man, brain is not here right now. But Street Fighter 6. There's a lot of things that they could be doing that they're not, and it's like most of these companies are not doing enough. When I did the unboxing for the Castlevania anniversary collection, I mentioned the fact that I'm gonna get my son into it and stuff, but it's like I hope that there's going to be more games in the future that are newer Castlevania games. And I was like, we haven't had a new Castlevania game since Lords of Shadows 2. That's crazy.
That was almost 10 years ago, or has it been?
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, that man, I don't get it. Uh, Capcom, it's weird. I know they're starting to pick up, because the Resident Evil they turned that around. The Monster Hunter, I think they turned that around. So I think a lot of games are starting to turn around. If they do good with this, that's another. Street Fighter, that's another turnaround. So I think they're starting to actually care again, because I think they finally realized that. I'm not too sure though. Dizzy says that unboxing was sweet.
Thanks, Dizzy. Um, I had a lot of fun doing that one, especially adding all the music and everything. I think that Capcom has a real missed opportunity. They haven't utilized either the art style from 4, 5, or even 6 right now to create a new Final Fight game.
They need to.
They need to do a new beat 'em up. They're afraid because they did what Final Fight Vendetta, and I think it was awful.
Uh-huh.
But that was the too. They weren't doing really good 3D beat 'em ups other than Devil May Cry.
Yeah. I know SNK just announced the Marco Garo 2,
Oh, really? I didn't even see that.
Oh, yeah, that was at EVO. Well, I mean, it's early in development. They didn't, so it'll probably be, they said it will probably be like a couple, 2-3 years away. So, but yeah, I mean, I know like how long did that one come out, so that's well deserved. I think, we're gonna be following, hey, K2J, how you doing?
What's up, K2J?
Real quick to drop a like. I can't stay. Oh yeah, that's fine, man. That's all good. I hope you're having a good night. You were doing kicking ass on some Mega Man earlier, so
keep it up, man.
You have a great night. Yeah. Final Fight would sell. Yeah, it would. I think it would. That unfortunately, that no matter how bad that would be name recognition that would sell it.
Yeah.
But if they do really good, it will continue to sell. Like honestly, like King of Fighters, I really love King of Fighters. I like the new one, and I do like it a little bit better than most 2D fighters because one, you at least have to become good with 3 fighters, in order to do pretty good. Like you can't just main one character, and you have to be well rounded with at least 2 to 3 characters. So it's a little bit more technical.
Well, since they've moved into the 3D realm, 2D fighter with King of Fighters, I'd love to see another Capcom versus SNK game. I mean,
yeah,
it wouldn't be hard for them to do it. But I know that you told me that they announced the Samurai Showdown characters for the next DLC for King of Fighters.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. Mm-hmm. It's sad that one flopped because that one I actually did get into for, about a month or two, but then the online just died off. It was kind of sad, yeah. And I played with a few buddies, but yeah.
I think them bringing back Fatal Fury, Mark of the Wolf, doing the second one for that is going to be really good because I love to see the direction they go. If we're going to have like an older Rock Howard, older Terry Bogard, Geese won't be in it because he's dead in that universe.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe they'll go like in the past a little bit. We don't know what they'll do.
They could. Just don't do what they did with Street Fighter. It's like 3, and then we're gonna go in between 2 and 3.
Crappy.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't look at any of the news, man, from Evo other than the stuff that you guys told me or what I saw.
Yeah, there wasn't that much this year. Like I think we've pretty much been over it. Like of course, Street Fighter 6 a little bit more deep. The Samurai Showdown characters, the Marco Garu 2. I think then the rest was like they kept pushing that Nickelodeon All Star new character or whatever, and multiverse and stuff like that. And then I think they even announced an extra thing for Persona 4 Arena, which was kind of cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but they screwed themselves over with that one by not making a physical copy and just barely marketing it when it did come back in March. And so it was kind of dead on. Like, I mean, the hardcore Persona fans and the fighter fans bought it, but yeah, they kind of screwed themselves with that because I bought it day one. I played it for quite a bit, and but yeah, it should have had a little bit, or they should have added the Persona 5 characters. It would have definitely sold.
Yes, that's definitely a missed opportunity. And I don't know. I mean, what Arc System Works would possibly do another Persona fighter. It'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Especially utilizing the engine from Strive.
Oh yeah, that would. I don't know. I honestly don't like Strive too much. It's my least favorite Guilty Gear game.
Oh, I know, but I mean, even though you got the three that we had on the PS4, it's the same art style.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's beautiful. It really is.
So, and I didn't even get to watch anything for whatever was going on with the Dragon Ball scene for Dragon Ball Fighters.
Yeah, it was hard. They didn't push it that much this year. I know it was like one of the lower, like entrants in the like competition, but for the finals they didn't even do it the final day. They just did it, I think Saturday night, and just streamed it like in the main room. That wasn't even at the arena. It's kind of
crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of shafted, unfortunately. But you would think that Arc System, I guess Persona. I don't know. I feel like it's weird because they had the Persona 4 Arena lanyards, for Evo.
Oh, they did? That's awesome.
Yeah, which was cool. And I'm like, they didn't have a mini tournament there. You would think they would have. I would have done that.
So what Dizzy's saying, Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat? Are we talking about Street Fighter 1 and Mortal Kombat 1? Or are we talking about like current day Street Fighter and current day Mortal Kombat?
I honestly really like Mortal Kombat X or 10. I really played that one quite a lot, actually.
I enjoyed 10 a lot as well. I don't like 11. I mean, for some reason, it just feels so different than.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like they went with that whole fighting style with Injustice instead of sticking with what they did with just what the direction they were going with 10.
Said both retro. Okay, so old school Street Fighters, at least in my opinion, is better. Like I would say, at least with Mortal Kombat 10 is better than the newer Street Fighters. But that's gonna flip when Street Fighter 6 comes out, in my opinion. What about you?
So, as much as I love Street Fighter, I love the mythos more of Mortal Kombat. If we're talking about the first three games. 4 wasn't that great on the and it had some weird storylines on when it came out on the Dreamcast. And the PS2 games were good, but nothing beat like Third Strike. And then when it became 4 and 5 for Street Fighter, it was still Mortal Kombat for me with up to 10. And then now that we got 11 and we got 6 coming out, 6 is going to be my thing because it looks so good. And it seems like it plays really well.
It does.
I'm hoping it's going to be a complete game.
Yep, it definitely day one buy for me, no doubt about it. And I think I'm gonna keep Tekken's gonna be my main game, but I'm definitely gonna get Street Fighter 6 day one, and I'm gonna practice King of Fighters 15 every once in a while, so then I can do like all three at every tournament, and just get first place in all of them. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Dizzy, I would honestly, I would take a reboot of Mythology. Honestly, I mean, as bad as that game was, I actually enjoyed it. It was like getting to play a Sub-Zero game that wasn't a fighting game for some reason. But I was big into Mortal Kombat, so it was like this is the greatest thing. It didn't bother me that some of the level design was shit and it was a little difficult in certain spots. I enjoyed it though.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I actually did just get my buddy into Tekken. He just picked it up, I think 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's going to be playing, and he's going to go down to the tournament with me. And yeah, I'm glad. I'm going to keep getting people into Tekken now.
That's all we can do, man. We got to spread that love for that game. It needs more love than it gets.
Yeah. Mythologies was the only game I ever traded into Game Store. Oh, into a game. Dang. Well, that's not bad.
Well, was it when you got it, like when it first came out, Dizzy, or was it whenever you picked it up later on in life and realized it wasn't great at the time?
Man, so I don't know. I think the fighting game. There's so many fighting games are out right now. Like was not good. What's those? They had Melty Blood there. I think was it? Which I don't know if that game seemed interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And it was 10 years ago. So I don't know. What are some other fighting games that you would like to see come back and get recognition? Like I said, Samurai Showdown should have got some recognition because that's very technical game for a 2D fighter.
Darkstalkers is a definite.
Darkstalkers? Okay.
The Capcom versus SNK.
Mm-hmm.
I love those fights. I love both of those. Even the one that was like that wasn't technically part of the trilogy. It was like the SNK version of that game. Was it SNK versus Capcom Chaos? And it's funny. I only ever remember seeing it in arcades until like I saw it on Xbox back in the day. But yeah, Fatal Fury, and I'm glad that Mark of the Wolves is coming. What else? I don't know. I had to think about that. There's those are the three mains that I would want mainly.
Yeah. I think. Did you ever play Tetsunoko versus Capcom?
No, I missed out on that because I was on the Wii, and I'm like, I'm not a big. I have a Wii, but I didn't want to play with that remote. I mean, I want to play with the controller.
No, I get you. Yeah, it was more of a fun game, but I only rented that one, which I wish I would have bought it. It's probably hard to get now, but I rented that from like one of the places. It was either Family Video or Hollywood Video, and that was fun. But I wish I would have bought it. But yeah, I think they should redo it like all new style. That would be cool,
Maybe the Tekken versus Street Fighter game that should have came out would be nice to see. The Tekken version of that fighting game, not Capcom's version. And then to what Dizzy's saying now, that the X-Men versus Street Fighter, that was a great game. That would be actually really cool to see a sequel to that and have it have like other X-Men characters and some of the newer Street Fighter characters. It'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. The thing is, like, that would probably be really hard now since Disney owns it. No.
Yes, and that's where the license thing makes it a little harder.
Yeah, it would be either super harder or easier, one of the two. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably not because I don't know if they would want their people to get beat up. I don't know though.
Yeah,
they should make like an in-depth like I don't know if it was I was talking to someone or it was a video. They should make like a real in-depth anime fighting like shonen fighting game. It could be 2D or
Shonen Jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be 2D or Tekken style, one of the two or whatever. But I don't know. I feel like that'd be easy because it's not like they have to create any moves. Everyone has their own moves, So it's like it's not like they have to overthink the move sets and stuff. They just have to kind of. It could work. Well, it would have been way better than Jump Force.
Yeah, maybe get Arc System Works to do it. And, I don't know. That's right now one of my favorite fighting game studios because they just do really good work when they
Oh yeah,
put time into it. So who knows? We might get lucky and they can do it.
Yeah, or heck, Persona versus Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would definitely work. I would imagine.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's funny because we had those weird. Was it the rhythm games that came out? Was like Persona Dance or something. Persona something Dance. One that was like Persona 4 and Persona 5.
Yeah, I think I have them. Yeah, I do. I think it's in another room, but yeah, I played the Vita one, but yeah, those were fun games. But they definitely try to make that. Or heck, even Tekken versus Yakuza.
Yeah, exactly.
You have a whole roster.
Why not? Kiryu is not. He's not in Tekken. I have no clue.
Yeah, I don't know. He fits like the move set. You could either go brawler, the speed style, or whatever. Just the regular fighting style he has. I forget what it is, but
the Dragon of Komorocho.
yeah, he's got 4 different fighting styles. Very versatile.
Mm-hmm. That'd be kind of cool to add that, because instead of having the charge characters and the special move characters they added for Tekken 7, you have characters that have different styles.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah. You could do it somewhat similar to like Lydia and Lei.
Yeah. Where they like the stance switches or yeah. Yeah, I don't know why. Even you would think like Real Gotoku Studios would just make their own fighting game. You would imagine. Like it may not be great, but it'll be fun. Pick up and play.
And another person I would think that would be great to have in that game series would be, come on, Vince, brains, come on. I had his name too, and I just went, the main character of 8. of Yakuza 7 and 8.
Oh yeah, Ichiban.
Ichiban, yeah, here we go.
Yeah, because he really could do like brawling style, with just his hands. He could go freaking Negan style, better than Negan.
Yeah, there you go. You can literally have. There you go. There's your character that fits in the spot for Negan, and he actually has better moves with the bat and his own style.
I noticed that the English voice actor for Jin is the same as Ichiban, English voice actor, which was cool. I didn't really notice it. Somehow I didn't notice till the final episode, but I noticed. Yeah, that would be cool. I think they could because I know he's going to be the new dragon.
Yeah.
So they're going to use him for a few games. Him or even the detective Talk from Judgment.
Oh, dude, Talk would be great. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like Kung Fu style, Wing Chun style. He's pretty good.
Yeah. Man, I'm like just having dreams of like this greatness that we'll never see in our lifetime or in this dimension.
Yeah, right. Let me see. I don't know. There's a lot of characters they could add, but
Bloody Roar would be cool to have come back.
Yeah.
Did you see it though?
Let's see. Yeah. I honestly did like the voice acting in the show, though. I'm glad they picked up. I'm starting to see. I need to figure out what his name is.
Oh, the actor that played Jin?
Yeah, Kaji Tang. Wow. I didn't know that. He does a lot of stuff. Let's see. Yeah, he did. Oh yeah, he was a Faust and Guilty Gear. Why isn't it? Oh yeah, Lost Judgment, Kaito. It doesn't say. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong guy. That's fine.
Yeah, because you have the Japanese cast, and
yeah,
gives the option for the.
Oh. I forget Ichiban. Yeah, I cannot wait till Yakuza Like a Dragon 2 or whatever they're going to name it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it is Kaji Tang. I don't know why they didn't put it on his Wikipedia for some reason. That they didn't put that. Oh shoot, he was in Danganronpa. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's
he was.
cool.
Man, getting to hear him like do that interview about doing the voice for Ichiban,
Uh-huh.
and him talking with George Takai. That was a great interview.
Oh yeah. Dang. Yeah, I forget George Takai was in it. That he played what's his name? I forget his name, but yeah. Oh jeez. Well, do you have anything else to add about anything? That little podcast?
No, this is fun. I enjoyed
Yeah.
talking about the series and what's going on with Tekken 7, our wishes and hopes for everything going forward.
Yeah, there was a lot to talk about, and glad you came on.
Yeah, anytime, brother. Anytime.
Yeah. All right, thank you, Dizzy. Thank you, K2J, and anyone else that was lurking and whatnot. So I know it's my first time back. So, or like since I'm slowly coming back. So there's plenty more where that came from, as they say. So I hope everyone has a great night, a great week going into their Monday. I hope you're enjoying the new job, Dizzy. I really do. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. But yeah, I hope you're having a good time at your new job. So, all right, this is going to be the end of stream. I'll see you guys next time. Do you want to have any last words, Delo Podcast?
Peace out, guys. Have a good one. Hope it's a good week.
Yeah, see you guys next time. Oh, shoot. I was just going to